it is. Yep, seed talk. We plant seeds, drop breadcrumbs that feed the eggs. You should have go into a better self-awareness. And now, yo, it's seed talk.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's Seed Talk.
We close like some tree bark.
The best podcast in this house. Yes, sir. We know how we do it. We got a very special guest today. I think y'all gonna like it.
Stuff that make your seeds walk. Seed talk. Stuff that make your seeds walk. The seed talk. Stuff that make your seeds walk. The seed talk. Stuff that make your seeds talk.
You heard it. It's Seed Talk. Stuff to make your seeds walk. We got a very special guest in the building, in the house, in the cipher. I met this person, just been seeing her throughout the community, and then was at Langston Hughes for another event. She's passing out her flyers and whatnot for a one-person show. Very, very energetic. Coming with a lot of pleasantries and kindness and you know, I looked at it, it's like, oh, October 7th. She's got that Libra, you know, and it's on my birthday too. She let me know it's my birthday. You know, it's her mom's birthday, but it's her born day. Right. I said, yeah. And she's like, yeah. So I like Libras. My best friend's a Libra. Yeah, we all right. Some of them kind of weird. They kind of funny style. I said, I guess their scales are you know, a little bit unbalanced for your liking, sister. But she let me know that man, she was not for repping her sign that day. She was very honest.
An instrument,
that
a musician.
They don't get it right sometimes, and that's fine. But I really love and appreciate one person shows, and we're gonna talk about why I love and appreciate one person shows. And she's going to tell you why she's doing this one-person show, of course. So, anyways, with no further ado, I wanted to welcome to the Seed Talk podcast, Lakema Bell Johnson in the house. Give it up for
Thank you for having me. Sure appreciate it. And I did rap us. You know, I just tell it like a TI is. And some of us is funny. That's all.
Oh, that's all? That's all you saying? That's it?
That's it.
Okay. So talk about, I want to first start, I want to get into your Genesis story. And there's so much I want to unpack. Because this just on visual, off jump. The imagery with the, you know, the African regalia, you're looking very regal over there. And that is in true Libra form. Y'all can't just leave the house looking normal. Y'all always got to be done up. I know that, especially with the Libra women. They got to be always on point. What I love about Libras also, they're very creative and a very, you know, us Pisces, we can be very complex and want to go all deep, you know what I'm saying? Libras keep it real simple, and they're able to reach that depth with their simplicity. And that's what I always like about my best friend, my brother Verb. Give it up for Verb Lidre, my partner in rhyme. But talk about what's it like growing up, you know what I'm saying, powered by that zodiac energy of a Libra. What's it like being a Libra woman?
I'm definitely for justice, for sure. So if there's anything that's unjust, I'm gonna go about my business. You can't do something in front of me that is not kosher. I'm not a person that will sit back and allow abuse to occur and not say anything or try to stop it. That has often gotten me into some situations, but it has also helped others to be able to stand in their truth and not allow whatever violation that is occurring to continue. So that's one of the things that I found about myself since I was real little. It didn't matter if you was grown or if it didn't matter if you was 2 or 20 and I was 5. I would speak up and speak out about any injustice.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that about you. That's dope. That's dope. I forgot to get into it. I was so excited to start unpacking the Lakema Bell Johnson story. I forgot to let y'all know. I mean, come on, man. Y'all got to share this. Y'all got to comment. Y'all got to subscribe. All my people out there in the YouTube, universe. And one day very soon, we can monetize this content. You know what I'm saying? Slavery's over. And this is the best way to support a Black business, I think, personally. In my opinion, all you got to do is just click on this and walk away. That's all you got to do. Throw little comments up there and every day. If you really want to support a Black business, support a Black podcaster, a journalist, or a blog, writer, anyone online doing skits, you can literally just press play and walk away. And then, we get credit. Those ad dollars go, they really like it when you start viewing things. So please share and comment, but not just to share and comment, just to do it, because we got a good show.
Yeah,
it's really good. Seed Talk plant seeds to grow community. So with that in mind, the Lakema Bell Johnson story, or the Lakema before she got married, story starts where? Because I'm a transplant. I always like to let people know I'm born in Cleveland, raised in Cincinnati, came here when I was like 12, been here 30 plus years. So what's your Genesis story? Where did you get your superpowers from?
well, I was born in Oakland, California, by way of Natchez, Mississippi, Monroe, Louisiana, and New Orleans is where my folks came from. They transported themselves to the West looking for, like many others, other opportunities.
The Great Migration, the Black Migration. Shout out to the South.
Yeah, so they for sure landed in Oakland. So I was born in Oakland, California. And then we later moved in Sacramento, where my brother was born. And then we landed here in Seattle, Washington. So I've been here since 82.
What was it like? Now, see, I love it when I get someone on the show, especially because I love to talk about the friendly rivalry and pretty much like we're like kissing cousins, the Bay Area and Seattle, you know what I'm saying? And we get a lot of our swag from the Bay, a lot of our language. We got the Black Panthers from the Bay. I love talking about that because we had the second largest chapter of the Black Panther Party, other than its genesis and its root being in Oakland. What was it like growing up younger in the Bay with such a rich history in hip hop and revolutionary acts? With like the Black Panther Party, like I said, but also the home of, Too Short, the Bay Area also with E40. It's just so many people, not just in Oakland, but if you go just to Frisco, you got, all those rappers that came out of Crescent Point. I'm not Crescent Point, but sorry, I can't even think right now. I'm going blank right now, but sorry, it's the housing project over there in Frisco. Sorry, I'm going blank. It's gonna come back to me. But what was it like growing up in the Bay?
I was with my grandmother was a entrepreneur, so I always rolled with her. She owned restaurants and stores and record stores and apartment buildings and duplexes and things like that. So I would always roll with her. And be handling business at a very young age. So I learned from her how to really be an entrepreneur and a boss, right? Growing up with like my brother, my cousins and them, they were rappers. They would interact like it was nothing to see E40 in the airport or whatever. And he cool, you just be like, what's up? I don't think that there's this thing around stardom, stargaze or the other versus another. In my culture and where I grew up, like everybody had talents and folks edified one another. It wasn't this competition of because you got this, then you better than. It was that you have this, and so that I can have what I can have. So I would say, it was a pulsating energy in Oakland back in that time. But like I said, I was with my granny mom. So I wasn't out My brothers and them, they was out there. My
They were
cousins,
out there doing it. Because
they was out there doing all the things.
another thing that Oakland is really known for in the Bay is pimping.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go up into that. Okay. Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like a lot of those stories that we hear about, that particular street lane come out of Oakland and whatnot. I love Oakland. I used to go down there quite regularly. I'll be down in the Bay Area in Frisco, because I like to go down to San Francisco. If I didn't live anywhere else in the United States, I would live down in Frisco, actually, to be honest with you, in the Bay Area, because it's just so beautiful down there, but it's just so dang expensive, and it's crowded too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's real crowded and it's gentrified. Oakland is very gentrified right now.
Okay.
As you was talking about the Pimpin' MacArthur Boulevard, Grand Ave, San Pablo, all the places where the hoes were, if you will, are a little less that.
Yeah, they had the now they're doing their work in front of yoga studios and Starbucks now.
Yes, absolutely. It's a whole different vibe right now. So all that is times of the past.
It's always the characteristics of a black neighborhood being gentrified just by the treatment of dogs. Like, you go to gentrified neighborhoods, they really walking their dogs. They're really walking their dogs. They're running with their dogs. They walk.
They're doing yoga.
Prior to gentrification, they never really had a relationship with dogs. It's not the same.
Yeah, they're doing yoga with dogs in the park.
I'm like, man, we didn't have dogs in the black neighborhood for years, and y'all ain't never thought of, making a dog park and making this an actual cultural thing, you know what I'm saying? Y'all had this idea, so we're going to wait till the Negroes leave, and then we're going to really make it really, really cool for the dogs. I mean, the dogs is, what, when we start calling our best friends and stuff and our homies dogs, what up, dog? Come on, man.
Yeah.
So, anyway, how did you get to Seattle, Washington, and bless us with your energy?
My mother and father moved us up here.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we got here.
That's all you're gonna give us, and that's it.
I mean, that's all I can give you. You know what I'm saying? But you could take a guess on why there was some traveling to occur. You may be.
I can take some guesses, but I don't want to insult. I mean, you could have came up for. I'm going to guess that they came up here for economic opportunities.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
We're gonna go with that.
I mean, they had to make money and they stayed here. So, right. So
I said I'm from Oakley, California.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And my people are from Oakley, California. And you just said that, they known for the things.
Okay. Got you. Okay.
You
know what? And so can we expect that to be touched upon in your one-person show?
It may be. Yeah, I'm going to touch upon a lot of things in my one-woman show. It's very important to me, for me to be able to really immerse in my understanding of self. And everything that I have learned, went through, has added or contributed to me. Some of the things that I've put on, I need to take off. Some of the things that, you take the best and leave the rest, as my mother says. And so this is part of me taking the best and leaving the rest.
Mm-hmm. So she got some Bay Area in her. When she start, we get that. We learned that from E40. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? When they start talking, they start rhyming when they talking. You know what I'm saying? It just came time of my life. You know what I'm saying? I had to start, walking when I was talking. You know what I'm saying? To stop stalking. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
You got some swag in you when you start talking in rhyme schemes, okay?
True.
I love your energy. It's dope. So tell us about this relationship with art, with poetry. We did what I call a pre-brief over the phone. And I said, what kind of other artistic mediums do you engage with? Do you indulge with? You say, I do a little bit of singing. I do a little bit of poetry. I do a little bit of this. And I even rap. I'm like, okay. So Talk about the genesis of your relationship with your artistic side. Where did that start?
That started before I could walk. My mama told me that the music would come on. I didn't know how to walk, but I would pull myself up on the table and start dancing. So I was dancing before I could walk. Dance is how I commune with the Most High.
Okay.
It's my spiritual source.
Now, what kind of dancing we talking about? What kind of dance do you get down with?
Oh, I am a dancer to the heart. So I do traditional African dance. I'm a professional African dancer. I've taught African dance. I do choreographies. But I gets down to all rhythms. So, if it's, we could do reggae, it's whatever. Rhythm it's my pulse.
I would like to stay right there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already really liking interviewing you because, like I said, in true Libra form and energy, they're straight to the point. They keep it simple, and you provide those pregnant pauses, and you allow that space for me to ask another question. Because so I appreciate that. Shout out to you. So when we talking about dance, I want to stay there for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
There was a situation that happened recently where India.Arie had a problem with Janelle Monáe, and what's her name, Megan Thee Stallion at the Essence Festival. They was doing a little bit too much twerking for her liking, and this has come under fire a lot. You shouldn't be doing that. It's not good for the kids. You're disrespectful. You're sexualizing everything. Blah blah blah. What's your take on like different forms of dancing, in particular twerking or erotic dancing? How does that fit into the whole spectrum of dancing from your point of view? What's your commentary?
That's a good question, right? And what I'm going to say to that is that similar to the Libra India.Arie, I believe that there is always a time and a place for everything, and it's about discernment, right? And I don't see anything. I think that twerking, all that comes from Africa, right?
Yeah.
That's the original dance, and those dances are done to symbolize different things. Dances are done for different reasons, for birthing and healing, and for celebrations of weddings. There's even dances that are done when someone transitions. There's also mating dances. There's also rites of passage dances. And so, again, they're not all done at the same time and in the same audience. And so for me, it is about your discernment and when to do it, where to do it, why, how, what's your reasoning behind it, right? You have to think about why am I doing this? Is this something that I'm doing based on the rhythm and what I feel? And if it is, go forth. But if it's based on you needing something outside of yourself to feel fulfilled, then you might want to think about it.
Yeah. And to add on to what you're saying, that's one way to look at it. I would like to add on to that. I just feel like that's always been my argument. I always lead off. That's always my premise. These are all African dances. You know what I'm saying? And it's really the industry that seeks to capitalize on it, financially, that wants to sexualize it, and most times overcompensate and over-sexualize our dances and just make us completely a sexual person. And then therefore, we build a certain level of revenue from, fulfilling the requirements of that brand. And we get locked into that, artists such as like a Meg Thee Stallion or a Cardi B, they can't really deviate from that without taking a blow financially. And so that's why I'd be like, man, it's your job to educate yourself. Like you said, what does that dance really mean? Is this something that I want my children to see? Is this something I even want to, indulge in? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I feel like even as an adult, at 48, I cringe at a lot of stuff. And I just don't have the tolerance for so much violence and so much sexuality that's put into our music and stuff. Sometimes I just want to chill. I don't want to be overly stimulated either way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
You have to.
but at the same time, I educate myself on my tolerance, but also, you know, to give people the freedom that I would want as an artist. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's right. And I agree with both things around having the freedom as an artist, right? You need to be able to be free for your expression, right? And that may come out to be cringe for some and not enough for others, right? You can't be everything for everybody all the time, right? I also feel that that we need to get real clear about what's happening. Is it our genre of music or what we represent sexualized? Does the Taylor Swifts of the world have to do the same thing in order to get the same type of compensation? And if not, then why? Right? We need to go a little deeper on why is it that the only way or the most popular or the most financially rewarding way to get the dollars is for us to be sexualized or over sexualized, as you say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we
yeah.
Look at what is the cause? What is the root cause? What is going on? What is the ripple effect?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's not just about the now; it's about that 100-year plan. It's about them 500-year plans.
Yeah, and I take all that into consideration. Number one, to add on to what you said, I feel like those artists, in particular, Janelle Monáe and like a Cardi B or even a Mega Stallion, they've given you enough information. You feel me? To know what to expect when you are, checking out one of their shows. They've been incredibly responsible. Not only just the parental advisory that's always attached to their material and just keeping it real. I mean, they're younger folks. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
They've also just told you, like, look, I'm not going to have you show up to my barbershop and I've been giving you a, a fade, and all of a sudden I give you a mullet. You know what kind of haircut you getting when you walk into the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. And then number two, when we're thinking about 100 years, we also have to look at what are we potentially interrupting 100 years from now from another Black person's generational wealth. And the last thing I want to do is to impose my standards or me being a prude or, me cringing at stuff to interrupt a Black person's financial gain that's making legal money and possibly interrupting their generational wealth. Because here's the deal, because they could be doing something illegally or doing something to really harm our community. And I just don't think people getting on stage twerking half naked or explicit lyric is really hurting our community more so than other things. We have to look at things on a priority level. Am I really going to make that a priority, or I'm going to make the priority, drug use, self-harm, violence in my community? My priority is not going to be like trying to police, young people on stage dancing sexually or whatnot. I just
not at all, right? Each one, each one do one. But again, I'm still with about when, where, how, what, and why.
Absolutely,
right?
I'm all for that too.
That's where I'm at now. Mind you, if you knew that the Meg the Stallions or the folks is coming, then you know what the content is. You would be prepared for that to happen. And if you don't want that to happen, you don't go to that show because you know what that show is, right?
Absolutely. We work as a good team because that's a great segue into your show. When we talking about what to expect for your show, what can we expect? Because I'm really looking forward to October 7th. I will be there.
Okay, good.
Because your energy is there, the smile. What can we expect from a Lakema Bell Johnson one-woman show?
What I would say is what you can expect is the truth, right? My truth. And that you can walk along this journey with me, what I've learned, what I've been battling, and maybe find some things that resonate with you and some tips or what have you that may assist you in your own journey. I think that we all walk pretty parallel lives. We walk pretty parallel lives. There's different dips and valleys and so forth, but there is a commonality. There's a commonality, right?
Mhm.
And I think that when we can get to the nucleus of that commonality, we can all grow as a collective towards a common goal. Be that generational wealth building, right? But we need to get to the nucleus. What do we have in common? We have more in common than we have not.
Right.
And how can we strengthen that for our collectiveness? So
Right.
what you can experience is, I think it's going to be, I was told I'm funny. I don't know. Maybe there might be some jokes. There will be some dancing for sure. I'm bringing up the mighty Kiazi Malunga, who is a master drummer in the Congolese dance. He bad. Ooh, he bad. So he's coming out. And so I'm excited to have him playing. This is really going to honor my brother who has passed away, really reflecting around that relationship. There'll be some things around parenting. There'll be some things around racism, structural racism, and some more stuff.
Mhm.
So you can expect to, get it in, be able to feel all the feels, and come out feeling, I hope, inspired. I hope nourished and encouraged.
You mentioned the death of your brother. You
Yeah,
you feel comfortable talking about that briefly? Like, what happened with your brother? Older, younger?
my younger brother.
Okay.
My younger brother, Kareem Mikey Bell, say his
Mm-hmm.
name.
Mm-hmm.
He was magnificent genius brother. A lot of geniuses and a lot of geniuses. And he was a masterful drummer and trained under many griot master African drummers, and picked it up quite well. He kind of started drumming at 12. By the time he was 16, he had his own CD and was traveling internationally with other master drummers to perform. He then got afflicted with schizophrenia uh,
Mm.
when he was around 18. And so he suffered with that uh, illness for 16 years. And so I'll be able to talk about what it was to go through that illness with him and the different systems that do not all come from the same place, but do not talk to one another, do not, they're not coincide, streamline, and really set up to perpetuate profit and death off the backs of poor people. And I've seen that firsthand.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely sorry for your loss and whatnot with that. Um, Aside from, losing your brother and probably, other things in your life that happened, why a one woman show? Why why did you decide to do this? And why are one person or one woman shows, why are they important to our community? Why?
Well, I'm going to say this. I've been boiling with this piece about what Spirit has told me that I needed to do this. This was around, I've been holding this for about 15 years. And then I was at, so this came about, and I'm going to tell you why this came about. I was at Dr. Mims' house, and we were there on my birthday last year. And normally I like to go out and shake a tail feather. You hear me? I ain't trying to be at Dr. Mims' house. But I had something put on my spirit that I need to go there, and bring certain people there for some healing. So I'm obedient. When I'm told to do something, I'm obedient. And so I called Dr. Mims. She was like, "Yeah, girl, we can go." I met her there, brought the folks, and we had a tremendous time. And Dr. Mims, um, if you know Dr. Mims, she will put you on the spot. If you're a poet, she'd be like, "Say a poem." She'll just put you on the spot. And because she's 95-year-old, you gonna do what she say to do. She told me to do a poem. I did the poem, and then she said, "Why you ain't done a one woman show?" And somebody else in the audience, somebody else in the house was like, yeah, I've been talking to her about it. And I said, well, I got pregnant with the twins. Woo, woo, woo. She said, well, I like to see it, indicating she'll like to see it before she go. I said, well, let me get busy. Because she is 94. That's when she was 94. I said, I better get some urgency. I can't act like she's going to be here forever. So what I've been sitting on has been ushered forward expeditiously, because my grandmother, who my great, the grandmother that has adopted me, said she want to see it. And so I'm going to make sure she see it.
That's a dope answer. I appreciate that. Yeah. So the reason why you're doing this, because, an elder, had recognized and celebrated your poetry, and like, this is way past due, and I want to see it done before I pass away.
Yeah.
She was telling you, why do you think one person shows are important for our community when it comes to healing, when it comes to countering racism, when it comes to building routines that help us live, higher quality lives? Why are they important?
Well, what I've discovered is that one woman or one person shows allows the audience to know they're not alone. Oftentimes when you're going through things, you feel like you're the only one going through it. You know what I'm saying? And it's sometimes you could be you could be in a house full of people and feel all alone when you're going through things. But to be in a space where someone else is expressing what they're going through, you be like, oh, right? You start to get the permission to release, the permission to be introspective and reflective, the permission to push yourself. Did you hear that? Push yourself. Okay. Yourself. There you go. Right. Push yourself to the highest and greatest you that you can be. And I know, and what I've discovered while I've been working on this is that I have to do some reflection on the reflection. Like, there is a lot of things coming up while I'm working to produce this. Things that I thought I had handled. Nah, not so much. So it takes the one person show. I would love to see everybody do it. We have a slew of them. I'll be right there in the front row.
Yeah, I did one probably about 5 years ago. And I did it at Columbia City Theater. So it definitely had a theme of, just, honoring my ancestors and my family and whatnot. I told a lot of stories, and I did it. And why it was important for me is for me to self-actualize why I am who I am. And I felt myself turning myself inside out while I was there, and being those certain family members that I was calling into spirit, whether it be my grandmother, whether it be my uncle Askia, who passed away prematurely, in his 30s, of HIV. And just talking about your relationship with these people, and also animals. So, I had, conversations with animals that, my first dog that I had, and, and even acted out a whole little comic routine of me having a conversation with the dog, you know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. So, but what I also thought it did was it created a relationship with my past to help grow and make better the relationships that I have right now in the present. So to be on stage with these musicians, my keyboardist Phil, or Erica Merritt, singing vocals, or Vitamin D on the Wheels of Steels, or Michael Turner playing the guitar. All these people came together. Princess Sharif was there. My father was there. All these people came together to help me celebrate, who I am, and that's what I want us to do. When you have yours on October 7th, it's only a few things that you can only do once in life that are monumental. I would say it's, childbirth. I'd say marriage is one. I say graduation is one. A wedding is one. And I think a one person show is another one. And it's one of those things where very few people ever do it. And it's really a celebration of just, feeling, healing, building, and growing, the community within.
Yeah.
Now I made a comment. I wanted to, wrap up here, but I made a comment about your outfit, and I went to work today, and I like to stay fitted in my African wearing, and I got certain things that I wear. The clothes that I wear, like with the necklaces and anything cultural, is to represent the diaspora of melanated people all over the globe, to show that unification. So I might wear something in Arabic that represents my ideals. This means God. Or I might represent something from
Isn't that Jin Yami?
Yeah, that's not the Arabic symbol for Allah or God. But
it looks similar to a Jin Yami.
Yeah,
I can't quite see it.
Probably for a reason. And then I got this, representing the Buddhist religion, because I really appreciate a lot of the principles in Buddhism. And then I have this traditional, dashiki, what I'm saying? So I asked you when we spoke before we went live, I asked you about the clothes you have on, and I just thought that you maybe went to Africa. So tell us about where you've been in Africa and your travels. I've been to Ghana twice, and you said you had some words for Ghana. We're gonna get into that, but where all have you been in Africa, and which place did you appreciate or like the most?
Well, thank you for asking that. My first trip to Africa was really to I had a vision of where I needed to be in Africa, and we took my brother's ashes to Guinea to spread his ashes. He was actually seeking to get there before his illness happened, and so therefore my whole entire family, children, husband, my mother, my sister brought she was one who carried my brother's ashes all the way from here to Guinea. So we spread his ashes in Guinea. So Guinea was our first. We went to Egypt first. I wanted my children, it was one of my goals for my children to go to Egypt, for them to go to Aswan, for them to see the pyramids and understand from which the original people came. We then went to Guinea and got remarried to my husband. I've been married to him 3 times. I love getting married, just to tell you that. Okay. I love getting married. So we've been married several times. So we got we had a traditional wedding in Guinea with the imam there. It was an Islamic wedding. And then I've been to Ghana and Senegal. And then I've been to Tanzania and the island Zanzibar. Yes.
Wow. You had some very, when I said that we had shared some intersection with both going to Ghana, you had some words about Ghana. You said that it was very, very sexist and misogynistic and patriarchal. I think those are the words that you used.
Yeah, well, what I said was they have a lot of patriarchal, misogynistic ideology still occurring. And the reason why I say that is because I am looking to purchase property outside of America, specifically on the continent somewhere. And that's why I'm traveling where I'm traveling. So I've been, been to 5 or so countries out of the 54. Was it 6? Anyhow, that's my son. And I'm looking for property. Now, that trip that I did to Ghana and Senegal was a trip that I did without my husband or my children. My husband stayed home. Bless his soul. I just love him to death. So he stayed home, and I was looking for property. I went and I was met by 3 chiefs. And one chief was over one section of Ghana, another section, so forth and so on. And I'm looking to look at the property, and they told me that I needed to go through this man that I didn't know. They were like, "Oh, okay, yeah. Where's your husband?" I said, "He at home with the kids." I said, "He at home with the kids. That's where he at." "Oh, well, we like you, but you need to go do the business with him." I was good. So that was my experience. Like because I'm a woman, I can't buy no property, and I need my husband here.
Yeah, like I said prior to us going live, colonialism has its ways. It'll do that. Now, I don't know if it was like that prior to colonialism, but based on my scholarship and research, a lot of Africa, if not all of Africa, is fundamentally different, especially when it comes to the roles of genders. It was a lot different prior to colonialism. We practice a lot of egalitarian, you know what I'm saying, lanes of, you know, interaction and engagement, which means there's no real gender roles. It basically comes down to functionality. And if you study Yoruba and Ifa and even Voodoo, they have very prominent, you know what I'm saying, women, priestess and orishas and things like that. We talk about Oshun, we talk about Yamaya, we're talking about Mama Wata. I mean, these are women and feminine energies, which is different than, you know, the reproductive organs you were born with. But these are feminine energies that have a lot of substance and powerful respect in Africa. So it's just kind of interesting to hear that story. But, you know, I've been to Ghana and I saw some things too, and I was just like, man, you just got it hard on women. But, you know, I think a lot of the stuff that was done to survive colonialism and to exist and be a survivor of it, because, you know, the white male colonialists were very, very, of course, patriarchal, and they have a relationship with women that's similar to their relationship with Earth. You know what I'm saying? That's no coincidence. You know, they're just not really cool, you know, and you're dealing with a group of people like that. They're going to try to divide you, and they're going to divide you by the genders. And so we kind of follow suit with that. And so we start doing things the way they did and the way they do it to try to survive and to gain power in their framework. But at some point we got to start, you know, loving and taking care of ourselves according to how we did it before they, you know, came into our existence and disrupted things, because they're there to divide stuff. But I definitely appreciate you sharing that story, and also, you know, striving to get land over there. Now, I want to ask you one last story, because we talked about your migration from the South to the West Coast.
My family's migration from the South to the West Coast. I was born in Oakland.
Right. But I say that, we're saying the same thing. I say that because you were a part of your family before, you know what I'm saying, you were born. And that's why I always say, you know, our family, our genesis story is in Alabama. That's where my father, you know, when he does pass away, he has left me land there. And that's why I say I'm from the South, because I am from the South, even though I grew up in the Midwest, because that's our genesis story. And a lot of my culture and my tradition, the way I am and how I treat people, are Southern traditions. Yes. Which are, a lot of them you can see present in West Africa. You can see it in the Caribbean, in particular, Haiti. You can see a lot of, when I went to Haiti, I'm like, man, you guys act like people from the South.
That's right.
Especially, you know, people in New Orleans, you know, with that voodoo vibe. But what are your thoughts about people, especially nowadays, and saying a lot that, why do we want to claim we're African? We're not, you know, some of us weren't slaves, not all of us from Africa. We were here, you know what I'm saying, before, you know, that we were brought on slave ships, and not all of us were brought here on slave ships. There are some people say, you know, hardly any of us were brought on slave ship. That's all just a lie, you know, to, you know, get people spooked up. Like, how do you respond when people be like, you know, you're American. You were born here. You're Aboriginal. You're Aboriginal American. You're not African.
I'm an African born in America. And so that's how I respond. You cannot. My take on that is simply this: you can take the water out of Africa. You can bring it over here. You can put it on the land. Does it not still be African water? That's just period. I mean, it's real simple. I'm real simple about things.
Yeah, I keep it simple too. Like, for a lot of those people that say that, you know, we were already here, I'm like, where did it come from? You know, they came from Africa.
Everyone came from Africa.
Yeah, and you know, that's what all the research says. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, there are some theories out there that plate tectonics happened, that all this land mass was once all connected, all of it, you know, like America, South America, all was connected to Africa. And there are also some graphs that they do, and then you can actually fit you know what I'm saying, America or South America,
Yeah.
perfectly right into Africa. That's
Mhm.
cool. It's a cool little jigsaw puzzle trick that they
Mhm.
do. But my thing is this. This is the reason why we're cultures of melanated, you know what I'm saying, stage, we call it stage 4 melanin people. There's actually a graph that shows you like the stages of melanin, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
in relationship to the sun. And there are groups of people across that let us know through their stories, and if you do the research, that we have a common relationship with the sun. And
Mhm.
that's our culture, that's our facial feature, that's the texture of our hair, that's just
Mhm.
how we treat each other. And that the people who are lighter skin or melanin deficient, they are really just a mutation of, you know what I'm saying, of who we are. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like, if you did my DNA right now, whether it comes up that I'm from Africa or not, or it just says whatever, I know I have a connection based on the commonality of me and Haitians and people in the Caribbean, because I've been there, and into West Africa, and just even all over the world. Even if we want to go to Polynesia, even if we want to go to the Philippines,
That's right.
I'm everywhere.
Everywhere.
I've seen it. I've
Yes.
seen it with my own eyes, and
Mhm.
it was the arrival of the colonizers that planted that seed of doubt and division to make
That's
us think that we're not. But we're all. I've been to Hawaii and I've seen the same thing.
Mhm.
They always going to put the lightest shade of person on the cover of that brochure. You know what I'm saying, or that trailer. But
Mhm.
if you go behind that brochure and you go out into the sticks, they're gonna be a darker people. You know what I'm saying? So
That's right.
yeah, so that's why I continue to rock my African stuff, and I'm definitely proud to be a black person born in America. Though I mean, I love what we've contributed to the culture, here and what
I
we've
mean,
done.
across the world. Across the
Absolutely.
world. Absolutely.
But one of the things I did really pay attention when I went to Ghana, I was like, yeah, I'm an African, this, that, and third. And I still, I held on to that. But there were such a proud people that I was like, I don't want to trespass on this. You know what I'm saying? That they've been here. They've been doing that. It made me want to be even more proud of the Malcolm X's. You know what I'm saying? The people that, you know what I'm saying, the Stokely Carmichaels, the Martin Luther Kings, just all the Elijah Muhammad's, you know what I'm saying, the Prince Halls, you know what I'm saying, all these people that were born here, because the ones that they did take for Africa, because we were over here before they took us, but when they took us from Africa, Africa went down for a reason. Because they took the best of the best. They took griots, they took jollies, they took magicians,
They took the engineers, the blacksmiths, the scientists, the archaeologists. Yeah, all of it.
Those two. Yeah.
Took all of it.
Yeah.
Agriculture, everything.
So why don't you go ahead and tell us how we can get a hold of you, and then tell us how we can get more information about this one woman show.
Well, I got my little flyer right here. You see it? Can you see it? One? There it is. Tell it like it is. It's on October 7th. I will turn 48, so I'm catching you. I will turn 48 on October 7th. It will be at Langston Hughes Cultural Arts Center. For more information, you can go to skiniminllc.org. skiniminllc.org is my website. Now, that website was laying dormant for 3 years. And this is what happens when you do a one person show. You got to get all your things together. So now it is actually active and ready for people to go on. So just in that one little piece, I'm excited that was able to happen. So October 7th, it'll be at 6 p.m. We will have a woman show afterwards. We're going to have an after party of the one woman show, birthday party celebration, where you can buy tickets. There will be a DJ. I have confirmed we got DJ Love Jones in the house. Okay, he used to be in my program, one of my kids in my program. Look out. That's what I'm talking about. And we are going to also have Josephine Howe. She has confirmed that she will be singing for us. for my birthday. So come through. It's also a fundraiser. The birthday party is for my daughter we just dropped her off at Howard University. So she is a baby bison and about that 152K out of pocket. We're going to be needing some fundraising goings on. So we hopes that you come through. If you don't, go and donate. Go to the Baby Bison page on the Skin I'm In LLC.org.
Okay. Let me get that. So it's www.theskinimin.
No, just Skin I'm In LLC.org.
Okay. Skin I'm In. skinimin.org.
Nope, Skin I'm In LLC.org.
Oh, LLC.org. Okay, I think that's right.
That's it.
Yep. Go ahead and hook the sister up nicely. Be a part of the movement that's going to Lakema Bell Johnson's one woman show, one person show, October 7th, 6 p.m. Langston Hughes. www. It's on the screen, man. Come on, I ain't got to read it to you. This ain't Reading Rainbow. Come on now.
Reading Rainbow.
Oh, I want to go back real quick. In the beginning, I said Crescent Point. That's in Renton, Washington. That's where a lot of people got pushed out of the CD. They went to the Crescent. I was trying to say Hunter's Point. I knew it was a point, not that point, but Hunter's Point in Frisco. Okay. I was told by my Filipino brother, my Pinoy brother, don't call it San Francisco because they're going to look at you like you different. Call it Frisco. Call it Frisco because I sound like a gentrifier if I say San Francisco. He said I would be even better if I call it the city, so we'll call it the city too.
Well, that was all good.
He saved me the fade. He saved the fade. Lakema Bell Johnson, it's been great having you on the show. We do a little something here on C Talk television podcast, is that we take everything we talked about. This is the educator in me. And if you can, you try to develop an action plan or you give the crowd some homework. So I'll go first. Based on what we talked about, my action plan would be sit down with your family, create a safe place at least once a month. It'd be good if you could do it once a week. We used to call them family dinners. I don't even know if we do that anymore in the Black community. Yeah. But if it's at the family dinners that you do once a week or whenever you do it, at least once a month, tell a story. Give people stories. And make the stories something that you want to celebrate the person. Don't be bringing up when they got caught with a DUI or the DV car charge they got, or when they got drunk and they was running butt naked through the, and they got kicked out the club. No, tell stories about why you celebrate them and the principles that come out of it and why you see yourself in them in their greatness. And let that be principles for that household that can spread to other households, that spread to a community, that can spread to an empire, that can spread to actual institutions that can actually teach that to our youth. Like, this is our value system. Our value system is, seeing ourselves and each other and serving the you and them and just loving each other. So I would say carve out some safe places and some time, at least, once a month, at best once a week, where, people get together and tell their story.
Yeah. What
you think?
I think that's what's up. I also, while you was talking, what really resonated with me is I was thinking about, it's important to have your financial family fun days or Fridays, right? You know how we get together as a family, but to openly talk about finances, openly talk about, how can we create generational wealth? How can we be the generation that actually leaves something for the next, right? And continue to build upon that, because that's how you help to build an empire. That's how you can be able to have autonomy over the institutions and what's taught in it, right? But if you are dependent upon other people's resources or resources that are being kept from you, and you don't know how to create your own resources, then you're limited, right? And we're all about creating the freedom to be your whole and true self. So if you can have financial family fun days, I would say that would be one of the action plans to try to work on.
That's dope. That's dope. Give it up. Give it up for my sister. All right.
I appreciate you.
So again, make sure that you are sharing this and you're commenting to get those algorithms going. If you're on YouTube, make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're encouraging people to support this Black business, support these Black artists for real though. Also, I'm going to also encourage you to donate to C Talk. Cash App, Logic On Man, Venmo at Logic On Man. Make sure you do that. When this airs, I'm going to have Lakema actually put in her Cash App. I know she said that you can donate through the website also too. So I'm going to encourage you to go to, again, skinonmenllc.org and get some donations to this sister. It's not easy, right, to be an artist. And we always talk about, oh man, ain't no good music out. Oh man, all this stuff is whack. Oh man, it's all watered down. Oh man, it's this. Oh man, why don't you support the stuff that's out there then? Mm-hmm. Support it and share it. Share and support. I'm tired of hearing that. All right. It's been great. It's been Lakema Johnson, Bell Johnson story.